Okay, everybody, today we have the preterite tense of the verbs ir and ser. If you don't remember, the verb ir means to go, and the verb ser means to be. And you might be thinking, this is kind of odd that these are together, but what is kind of different about this is that these verbs actually conjugate the same in the preterite tense. We've seen some different things happen, like with the verb ser and estar, which both mean to be when we're talking about English to be, right? But we know that there's a very big distinction between their functions. For example, we would say, yo soy alto, yo soy profesor, yo soy estadounidense. But then we would use estar for things like temporary emotions. Yo estoy contento, ella está cansada, nosotros estamos en la biblioteca. And it also describes our location, right? So we know ser and estar are different, but they have the same meaning in English. We would use one word, to be. We also learned two interesting verbs, saber and conocer, which both mean to know in English. We just have one word, but in Spanish there's different ways of knowing. You know facts and information with saber. Yo sé el número de teléfono. Yo sé hablar español. While conocer is used for knowing people and places. Yo conozco a tu mamá. Yo conozco a Fort Myers. Okay, so we know people and places. Well, today we're going to see a reversal. We have two different ways in English of saying went and was, but in Spanish there's just one word, and it's the preterite tense. Let's take a look. So ir, which normally means to go, and ser, which means to be, are used interchangeably in the past, not for function, but for the same word. Let's look at some examples. Yo fui a la escuela, yo fui a estudiar. I went to school, I went to study. Tú fuiste a la playa, tú fuiste a tomar el sol. You went to the beach, you went to sunbathe. Those would be our normal examples of what we would use ir for, to go, and it has both an action and a place. But the third example, ella fue profesora hace 10 años. She was a teacher 10 years ago. In this case, we can see that it went from being the verb went and to now meaning was. Nosotros fuimos a la biblioteca. Nosotros fuimos a estudiar. Now we've gone back to using it as went. Ellos fueron muy bajos de joven. They were very short when they were young. Now what's really important to remember is what were the functions of ser in the present tense? Remember, ser describes characteristics, physical descriptions, nationalities, and it also describes professions. So if we're going to use any of those in the present tense and I wanted to make it past tense, it would still remain the same function. So if I want to talk about what I looked like when I was younger, what I used to do as a job, or maybe some nationality that changed, in each case it would be the verb ser in the past, while the verb ir in the past is going to represent the same functions it did in the present, to go, and it's going to talk about things that you went to do or places that you went to. As you look at the conjugated forms of ir and ser, it goes like this. Yo fui, tú fuiste, él, ella, usted fue, nosotros, nosotras fuimos, ellos y ellas fueron. And it's almost like you're making an FW sound. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. So you can see all the forms here. Yo fui, tú fuiste, él fue, nosotros fuimos, vosotros en España fuisteis, ellos fueron. Let's talk about ir as to go for a moment. Remember, in each of these cases, you would say fui a, and then either a place or an infinitive. Fuiste a place, or an infinitive, when you're using it as went. Look at the examples below. Yo fui a la escuela. Yo fui a estudiar. I went to school. I went to study. Tú fuiste a la playa. Tú fuiste a tomar el sol. You went to the beach. You went to sunbathe. Ella fue al cine. Ella fue a ver una película. And in this third example, we see the al appear. If you don't remember, al is the contraction when you have a next to el. It doesn't occur with a la, but it does occur when you have a sitting next to el. Ella fue al cine. Your turn for practice. In just a moment, go ahead and pause the video and see if you can do these quick translations of the verb went and was or were in the past tense. Ready? Pause. Great job. Hopefully you got all these answers. I went, yo fui. He went, él fue. We were, nosotros fuimos. She went, ella fue. They were, ellas fueron. You in the informal went, tú fuiste. You were, ustedes fueron. You were, and the formal, usted fue. And lastly, they went, ellos fueron. Esto es todo. Muchas gracias y adiós.